Most cars don't die suddenly after 100,000 miles. They fade away because one tiny ignored job becomes a big, expensive failure. Mechanics see the same preventable problems every single week, and the worst part? Most drivers had plenty of warning, but didn't know what to look for. Today, I'll show you the 11 maintenance jobs that matter most after 100,000. The kind where a $300 fix now can prevent a $3,000 repair later, because the last failure can destroy engines with no warning at all. Number 11. Brake system beyond pads. Let's start with the one thing that stops you: your brakes. After 100,000 miles, brake fluid aging matters more than ever. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, which means it slowly absorbs moisture from the air. Between 3 to 5 years, the boiling point can drop by 30 to 40%. When that happens, hard braking creates steam bubbles inside the lines. The result? A soft or spongy pedal and brake fade. Exactly when you need strong stopping power. That's why flushing old brake fluid at this mileage makes such a difference. From there, move smoothly into the hardware, inspect rotors for warping or heat spots, and make sure calipers aren't sticking. Check brake lines and hoses for cracks or corrosion, and confirm the parking brake still holds properly, especially in snowy or salty areas where cables seize more often. I have seen $300 brake jobs turn into $2,000 repairs because seized calipers and rusted lines were ignored. Preventive service usually costs $200 to $500, while major brake failures can run $1,500 to $3,000, or worse, cost you stopping distance. So don't accept spongy brakes as old car feel. Fix them now, because the next system quietly destroys tires, comfort, and safety long before most drivers notice. Number 10. Suspension and steering reality check. Here's a quiet money drain most drivers miss. Worn suspension slowly destroys your tires, brakes, and alignment without making much noise. After 100,000 miles, shocks and struts often lose their ability to control bounce. That extra movement means the tires keep skipping on the road, which chews the edges, makes them cup, and forces the brakes to work harder to stop the car. Over time, loose suspension also knocks the alignment out, so the wheels stop pointing straight, and the tires wear out even faster. Start simple. Check shocks and struts for leaks or slow rebound. Then inspect ball joints, tie rod ends, control arm bushings, and sway bar links for looseness or clunks. Replace worn parts and finish with a proper alignment. If the steering feels loose, the car floats, dips when braking, or the tires wear unevenly, that's the car warning you. I've lost count of how many times drivers replaced their tires twice before realizing it was worn shocks that destroyed them. And the numbers back me up. Worn shocks can increase stopping distance by up to 20%, and neglected suspension can cut tire life in half. A proper suspension refresh with alignment usually runs $800 to $1,500, but if you ignore it, repeated tire and steering repairs can easily climb past $3,000. Fix the suspension now, because the next system runs far more expensive when neglect builds up inside it. Number 9. Transmission fluid service. Here's the truth nobody likes hearing. Ignoring transmission fluid past 100,000 miles shortens transmission life dramatically. And here's why. Transmission fluid isn't just oil. It also carries detergents, friction modifiers, and cooling additives. Over time, heat breaks down those additives, and the fluid shears thinner. Once that happens, the clutches and bands inside the transmission slip more, create more heat, and shed more material. That debris then circulates through the valve body, blocking tiny passages and accelerating wear. Studies and industry data show that once a fluid is severely degraded, wear rates can increase by 3 to 5 times, long before total failure. For automatic transmissions, do a drain and fill with a filter change if service hasn't been done at the 60 to 100K interval. A full flush only makes sense when the manufacturer supports it and the unit isn't heavily neglected. Otherwise, a gentle service is safer. Watch for slipping, delayed engagement, shudder, or rough shifts. These are early red flags. For manual transmissions, change the gear oil and inspect the clutch. A slipping clutch or excessive pedal travel means it's time for replacement. I can tell you from experience, most of the failed transmissions I work on never had the fluid changed, not even once. A simple fluid service is usually $200 to $400. But when it gets to me for a rebuild, it often costs $4,000 to $7,000. Protect the transmission now, because once excess heat starts building, the next system in line really pays the price. Number 8. Cooling system refresh. Overheating after 100,000 miles rarely happens out of nowhere. It's almost always the result of coolant that's been slowly breaking down for years. Coolant does two jobs. It removes heat, and it protects metal from corrosion. As it ages, the additives wear out. That allows rust, scale, and deposits to form inside the radiator, heater core, and engine passages. Flow is restricted, the engine runs hotter, and the water pump works harder until something finally fails. So this is the mileage where you replace the coolant and inspect everything connected to it. Check radiator and heater hoses for swelling, softness, or cracks. Replace the thermostat and pressure cap if they're old or sticking. Inspect the radiator for internal clogging or external corrosion. And if the water pump hasn't been replaced, especially on engines where it's driven by the timing belt. This is the perfect time to do it while the engine is already apart. I've seen this too many times to count. The car didn't overheat because the water pump failed. It overheated because the coolant was 10 years old. And the truth is, about 95% of radiator failures come from corrosion caused by old or contaminated coolant. A proper cooling system refresh usually costs $300 to $800. But once an engine overheats, the repair bill can jump to $5,000 to $10,000. Fix heat problems now, because when engines run hotter than they should, ignition and emission systems start silently suffering next. Number 7. Ignition and emission system reality check. After 100,000 miles, ignition and emissions problems rarely shout. They whisper. Tiny misfires, a slight hesitation, or worse fuel economy are often early warnings. Spark plugs with a 60 to 100,000 lifespan can be worn, causing a weak spark. The PCV valve can clog, letting pressure and oil vapors build up where they shouldn't. And on direct injection engines, carbon buildup inside the intake can restrict airflow by 20% or more, slowly choking performance. This is also why check engine lights after 100,000 are rarely nothing. That light comes on when the computer sees repeated faults. Things like misfires, failing coils, oxygen sensor problems, evap leaks, or catalytic converter inefficiency. Ignoring it can cause unburned fuel to overheat the catalytic converter, turning a small repair into a very expensive one. So this is the mileage to replace spark plugs and the PCV valve, and inspect ignition coils and wires for cracking or weak spark. Check the EGR system and intake for carbon buildup, especially on DI engines. The shop foreman I work with always laughs and says, "Half the bad transmissions people complain about aren't transmissions at all. They're weak ignition coils and a clogged catalytic converter just pretending to shift badly." And he's right. Misfires can cut fuel economy by 10 to 30%, so you end up paying more at the pump while the engine slowly takes the damage. Fix these problems early, because the hot exhaust leaving the engine now flows into a system that also deserves attention after 100,000. And if this helped you understand what that check engine light is really saying, tap like, drop your car model and mileage in the comments, and let's see how many of us are chasing 300K together. Number 6. Exhaust system inspection. Your exhaust system works in the background every time you drive. And after 100,000 miles, rust, vibration, and heat cycles start to take a real toll. Small leaks don't just make noise. They can allow exhaust fumes into the cabin and throw off oxygen sensor readings, which makes the engine run poorly. So after 100,000, carefully inspect the entire system for rust, cracks, leaks, loose or broken hangers, and damaged joints. Pay close attention to the flex pipe and midsections, which often fail first. Then check the catalytic converter. Rattling noises can mean the ceramic core is breaking apart. If that core collapses, it restricts exhaust flow and robs the engine of power. Preventive repairs and hanger fixes often cost $300 to $800, but replacing a failed catalytic converter can cost $1,500 to $3,500 or more. Catching corrosion early keeps the system stable and protects sensors, fuel trims, and engine performance. It's a simple system, but when it fails, the costs add up fast. And while rust attacks from the outside, there's another problem developing inside your engine bay that causes mystery issues most people blame on electronics. Number 5, electrical grounds and charging system. Many high-mileage cars don't have electrical mysteries. They just have low voltage. After 100,000 miles, batteries age, alternators weaken, and ground connections corrode. When the voltage drops, computers, sensors, and modules stop reading accurately. That's when you see flickering lights, random warning messages, rough running, or no start warnings. So, at this mileage, test the battery and alternator output. If the battery is 4 to 6 years old or marginal, replace it before it leaves you stranded. Then inspect the main power and ground cables for corrosion, swelling, loose terminals, or cracked insulation. Clean and secure every major ground point you can reach. Low voltage causes false sensor readings, misfires, shifting issues, and control module glitches. Ask any experienced mechanic, and they'll tell you. Half of computer problems are weak batteries and bad grounds. A battery plus cable service usually costs $150 to $400, while chasing electrical gremlins through wiring and modules can easily exceed $1,000. Sometimes with no fix until the root problem is finally found. Start with clean power first. Once the electronics are stable and the car has a strong electrical backbone, the next step is making sure the engine can actually breathe and fuel correctly. Number 4, air and fuel delivery cleanup. When a high-mileage car starts to feel sluggish, hesitant, or thirsty, the air and fuel delivery system is often the cause. After 100,000, carbon and varnish build up in the throttle body, intake passages, and fuel injectors. Dirty injectors spray poorly, which means uneven fueling. A dirty throttle body can cause rough idle and hesitation. And a clogged air filter literally starves the engine of air. So this is the mileage to clean the throttle body and intake, inspect or professionally clean the fuel injectors, and replace dirty or restricted air filters. When airflow is restricted, power can drop by 5 to 15% and fuel economy falls right along with it. I'll never forget this one. The customer was convinced the engine was worn out. But the truth was, it just couldn't breathe. Once we restored clean airflow and proper fuel delivery, the engine felt completely different. And honestly, a full cleaning service usually costs only $100 to $300, which is nothing compared to replacing injectors or chasing false sensor codes later. Fix the breathing and fueling now, because if oil starts leaking into the wrong places, the next problem becomes far more serious and expensive. Number 3, engine seals and gaskets. After 100,000 miles, rubber and gasket materials harden and shrink. That's when leaks begin from valve cover gaskets, oil pan gaskets, and front or rear main seals. A little seepage can be normal, but active leaks are dangerous. Oil can soak belts, wiring, and sensors, causing failures you don't expect. Worse, leaking oil can reach hot exhaust components, creating a real fire risk. It also attracts dirt, turning your engine bay into sticky grit that slowly wears parts and connectors. That's why inspecting and repairing leaks early matters so much. Speaking from experience, I've seen it happen too many times. That small oil leak ended up soaking the timing belt, and when the belt slipped, it destroyed the engine. Most gasket repairs usually cost $300 to $900, depending on where the leak is. But once oil contaminates the timing belt or accessory belts, the damage can snowball fast, and the repair bill can jump to $4,000 plus if the engine is harmed. So don't ignore drips on the driveway. Track them down early. Because the next system we're talking about sits right beside those seals and controls the entire rhythm of the engine. Number 2. Timing belt reality check. This is the make or break item after 100,000 miles. First, find out whether your engine uses a timing belt or a timing chain. A belt is a wear item and must be replaced on schedule. A chain lasts longer but can stretch if oil changes were poor, and the guides or tensioners can wear out. Timing components keep the pistons and valves moving in perfect sync. If a belt snaps or a chain jumps timing, especially in an interference engine, the pistons strike the valves. That usually means 100% valve damage and an engine that needs major repair or replacement. Inspect timing covers for oil leaks that speed up belt or tensioner failure. Listen for rattling on chain-driven engines, and never ignore ticking or slapping noises from the timing area. I'll be brutally honest. Every single snapped timing belt I've ever seen came with the same excuse. I was going to do it later. And later is always too late. A proper timing belt service usually costs $800 to $1,500. But when that belt breaks, you're looking at $5,000 to $8,000 for an engine rebuild, if the car is even worth saving at that point. Ignoring a timing belt isn't gambling. It's lighting a fuse and hoping it never burns down to the end. Protect the timing system, because the final piece of the puzzle is the oil strategy that decides how your engine wears every single mile. Number 1. Engine oil strategy change. Here's the biggest truth of all. After 100,000, oil choice matters more than interval. High-mileage engines face more heat, more wear, and sometimes mild oil consumption. The wrong viscosity can cause problems either way. Oil that's too thin can increase leaks and bearing wear. Oil that's too thick may protect at high heat, but can slow lubrication during cold starts, when most wear occurs. So this is when you choose oil based on engine condition, climate, and driving style. High mileage or slightly thicker oils can help reduce burning in worn engines. But you should still follow the manufacturer's recommended spec unless a trusted mechanic advises otherwise. Under heavy heat, improper oil choice can increase wear by up to 25%. And don't forget the basics: quality filters, proper change intervals, and checking the dipstick between changes. A seasoned mechanic summed it up well. Same engine, same mileage, different oil choice, totally different wear pattern. Get the oil strategy right, and the engine keeps running smoothly. Get it wrong, and every mile slowly wears it down. Because in the end, cars don't really wear out. They're either maintained or abandoned. And there you have it, the maintenance jobs that quietly decide whether your car gives up early or keeps going strong past 100,000 miles. If even one of these tips saves you money or trouble, hit like, subscribe, and tell me your car and mileage in the comments. I'd love to know which job you're fixing first. And before you go, don't miss the next video. Proven habits to make your car last over 500,000 miles without repairs.